Hello, everyone. Greetings from in Uni, UK. Thank you so much for joining our webinar today. My name is Dagina Wetherill, and I'm the Director of Recruitment at in Uni UK Division, a company of global university systems overseeing international students recruitment for a number of our UK partner universities. Today, I'm extremely excited to talk about our premium partner university, beautiful Canterbury Christ Church University. And you can see Canterbury Cathedral in my background, and that's where students' graduations take place. I'm excited to be joined by Richard Venner from Canterbury Christ Church University, International Business Development Manager. Thank you so much, Richard, for joining. And I also have colleagues in the background. We have Stephen from CCCU. We have Sukanya and Chinks from a uni marketing team who help us to run this webinar smoothly. Just a few housekeeping rules before we start. You're all on mute. If you'd like to ask any questions, feel free to do so. Just pop them into the Q&A section, and we will take them from there. It's a fire chart webinar, so please feel free to raise any questions you may have about CCCU, about Canterbury as a location, or anything you would like to know more about the university. And I guess before we start with our questions, I'd just like to remind everyone that the GAS Gateway portal is already open for January 2026 students' applications. So if you haven't submitted your students' applications, please feel free to do so and try to upload the full package of documents. And most importantly, it's crucial to have your personal statement uploaded. Please ensure it's not plagiarized and no AI generated either. We want to make sure that all students' applications are the top quality applications, otherwise they might be rejected. We will have another webinar on compliance coming up soon, where we will take you through the guideline on personal statement. But meanwhile, please feel free to watch back the recordings of previous webinars we conducted and the guideline we shared with our partners on how to write personal statements. And again, before we start asking Richard loads of questions about CCCU and the upcoming January 2026 intake, in case if you haven't deferred your application from September 2025 to January 2026 and your course is available, but for some reason you haven't made it to September, you can still defer it. So please feel free to reach out to your in-uni CCCU business developer on the ground, and they will be happy to assist, or your educational advisor, your educational agency. We did provide the deadline of 3rd of October to confirm to us if you would like to defer, but in case if you missed it, you can still reach out to us and we will try to reinstate your application and defer it to January intake. We still have exciting scholarships and early bird discounts available, which we will be covering a little bit later on. And to start this webinar, I'd like to ask everyone, so that's all the attendees here, a question: what's the most exciting thing about Canterbury that you're looking forward to see or to explore? If you can share that within chat section, if you're able to, or if not, within Q&A section, that would be really, really interesting to see the answers to. So what's the most exciting thing that you're looking forward to see in Canterbury? Okay, all right. And while the attendees are typing their answers, I guess, Richard, we will kick it off with questions.
Yeah, firstly, Dagina, thanks so much for the introduction. I'm really excited to be here. It's going to be very interesting to answer your questions about Canterbury Christ Church. Also going to be really, really interesting to get everyone's questions in the Q&A that we can discuss and talk about. So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to the webinar and to talking about my university.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Richard. Excellent. So if you could perhaps start with telling us why CCCU is a great choice for international students looking to start their studies in the UK in January 2026?
Oh, great question, Dagina. Really, really important question. Okay, let me start with some numbers for you because Canterbury Christ Church University, we're definitely a university that is going places. So if I say the number 28, this is the number of places that we have climbed in the Times Good University Guide 2026, the biggest jump by a university in the UK. If I say the number 10, so we're ranked in the top 10 in the UK for teaching quality. Not number 10, not number 9, but we're actually 6th in the UK for teaching quality. We're 5th in the UK for student satisfaction. And I mean, in terms of employability and graduate outcomes, in 2023, we were number 1 in the UK. We're still in the top 10, and we have been for many, many years. So if we think about January 2026 and what makes Canterbury Christ Church a great choice for international students, definitely want to talk about our campus community. So we have a friendly, inclusive campus community with a strong international student support network. Canterbury is an excellent location in which to live and to study. You know, it's safe, student friendly, very, very well connected to London. We're very affordable, so we've got affordable tuition fees, which we'll talk about later. We're very affordable in terms of living costs when you compare us to other UK cities. And, you know, with that high quality teaching, which I've mentioned, and our focus on employability and real world skills, it makes us an amazing choice for international students. So hopefully, Dagina, that's answered what is a really, really important question, I think.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Richard. I think it's a great piece of information for students. And I can see some of you have started typing your answers to my question, but if you haven't, please do so, whether it's in a chat section or Q&A, but I think you should be able to do it in a chat section. So just to repeat the question, what's the most exciting thing that you're looking to explore or to see in Canterbury if you've already done your research? It might actually help you with your potential interview with the UKVI or even precast interview too. All right, okay, let's move on. So how does the January intake differ from September in terms of students' experience, course availability, and campus life?
Yeah, another great question. So obviously in January we've got 7 courses that we're offering. So it's a smaller, more focused cohort of students. But of course, our core services and facilities remain fully available. So our award-winning library, our new student union building, all of our careers services obviously remain fully available. I think the January intake also gives students an opportunity to obviously arrive in a smaller cohort, but then also to integrate with the existing student communities. You know, those students who have been studying with us for a few years or students who joined in September. And this integration can be done through many events, also through our clubs and societies as well. I think I also mentioned like student satisfaction, that we're 5th in the UK. I mean, that's an incredible achievement. And I think our personalized academic support as well is so, so good. And due to the smaller intake size, that personalized academic support is going to be even greater, I think.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Richard. You kind of answered this, I guess, within the first question, but what do you think really makes CCCU to stand out from other UK universities?
Yeah, I mean, probably I've already touched upon this, but the focus on student well-being, I think, and on personalized support, we are such a supportive university. As a Canterbury Christ Church student, you're not just a number, you know, you're a person with a name. All of our staff, both our academic staff, our professional services staff, they will know you. Our courses are very, very career focused as well, because we develop our courses with industry input. So I think these two are key points, and maybe explain why we've got such high levels of student satisfaction. Yeah, focus on support and career focused courses. Also, you know, not just great support for well-being and sort of academic support linked to students' courses, but also thinking about academic English as well. There's lots of language support and academic skills development as well, which I know our international students really, really appreciate and take advantage of.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Richard. And of course, for January intake, we do have international foundation program, but then the rest are predominantly postgraduate programs. So how does CCCU integrate practical experiences, internships or real life projects into these postgraduate programs? Perhaps you can highlight some of the programs which include an embedded work placement within the program structure.
Yeah, of course. So, I mean, generally speaking, many of our courses offer sort of applied projects which are written and organized with local employers. And this really does forge very, very strong partnerships with local industries. So health services, public sector organizations, NHS. We also have guest lectures and networking events as well with professionals. And, you know, the courses embed these projects into their curricula. Thinking about the courses we're offering for January, I can definitely talk about cybersecurity technology and data intelligence, because both of these MSc courses offer a work placement option. The work placement option you can do at the end of the course as an additional 12-week semester. Will help you in organizing your work placement. But what an amazing opportunity, you know, to do a work placement. And I think it just, with all of our master's courses really, but especially the courses we're offering in January, so, you know, cybersecurity technology, data intelligence, MA education, global public health, you can, you know, you can study abroad in a new, exciting, interesting setting, and then, you know, you can return to your home country and you can apply all of the skills, all of the knowledge to local challenges that you will face. And I think that's definitely the case with something like global public health, definitely the case with our MA education course, and also with our cybersecurity and our data intelligence courses as well. So hopefully I've answered the question there, Dagina.
Yes, absolutely. That's really, really helpful to know. Thank you so much, Richard. And just to add to the courses that Richard mentioned kindly, which are available for January intake, we also still offer MBA International and MSc International Business, in case if you have business background, or perhaps you want to gain a master's in business and then decide what you want to do in future, whether it's supporting maybe your family back home with running a family business, or choosing specific route in the UK to gain experience. We still have the postgraduate route available. Well, it's called graduate route actually. So if you do successfully graduate from a UK university, whether it's undergraduate or postgraduate degree, you can still apply for your postgraduate work visa or graduate route visa, which is excellent. Yep.
I'm so pleased that you mentioned those two courses, Dagina. Yeah, the MBA International and the MSc International Business. Let me talk very briefly about those two courses as well, because obviously they have a melting pot really of international students that study them. So there are so many ideas and practical learning, leadership, that word employability again, that I've already mentioned many times. These are threads that run throughout those two courses, business projects as well. Yeah, so another two really, really exciting courses that we're offering in January.
Fantastic. Thank you. So could you share with us how CCCU supports postgraduate students in transitioning to UK academic life, especially those joining in January who may arrive mid academic year, shall we say? And also to highlight, I mean, the great thing about UK degrees, obviously they're shorter comparing to some other destinations. So students are able to complete their postgraduate degree within 1 year only. But what sort of support the CCCU provides to help students to, you know, adjust to UK academic life much quicker? Because I guess it's really, really important for international students.
Yeah, no, of course. And we want to provide the softest landing possible for our students. Obviously, events like today, webinars such as this one are so important and really, really helpful for students. We also have something called Campus Connect, which is an app that students can download on their phones. And through Campus Connect, they can access live chats with staff and with other international students who are currently studying with us. Live chats are a great way of having your questions answered immediately. Also via Campus Connect, the app on students' phones, they can join community groups which are matched to their course, so their intended course, and also to their interests as well. These could be extracurricular interests, not only academic interests. Also, when they arrive with us, there's a whole range of online support and face-to-face support as well. The online support are online modules that students can take to upskill their academic English, their academic skills. But also, I want to emphasize like the face-to-face support as well. So we now have an area on the main campus called the Student Zone. And within the Student Zone, which is the place that our students can go to have their questions answered, we have our global gateway. I know I think you visited it, Digina, didn't you, a few weeks ago when you came to our
Yes.
campus? So yeah, the global gateway is staffed by our international student ambassadors, and they're at the global gateway to help new and existing international students. And we've had very, very positive feedback from our international students about the Global Gateway. It's a great place to go just to have a chat, have a coffee, have any questions or doubts answered. So we really do provide the softest landing possible, I believe, to help our students integrate into both academic life and just UK life in general.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Richard. And yes, I was lucky to visit it in September. I was really impressed with the support provided. It's very, very, student centric and also very much personalized support. We, of course, do strongly encourage that you need to book things like accommodation before traveling. But sometimes it happens that students receive visa and they're already running late for the latest enrollment date. So they kind of just book their flights and travel straight to the UK and arrive at the university without accommodation booked. Of course, we do not encourage that, but it does happen, unfortunately. And I was discussing that with CCCU support team, and they said they were able to arrange a quick help for students in that situation, which was amazing to see. But please ensure, guys, that you have booked your accommodation before you travel and you know full details, because you might be asked that question at the UK border as well.
I'm sure we'll have questions, Dagina, as well later on in the webinar about accommodation. But you're right, and our student accommodation, as we'll discuss later, really is of such a high standard. It's amazing. And just one more note about the student support. I think also it's a cyclical thing, right? So our new students come, they meet our existing international student ambassadors, they get inspired, and they themselves become the new generation of international student ambassadors, being paid by the university to help new and existing international students. And it's just a cycle that keeps going. But it works so well for us in terms of supporting our international students. And as I mentioned at the top of the webinar, you know, 5th in the UK for student satisfaction is such an accolade, and I think reflected by this kind of support.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Richard. And I guess question on everyone's mind, I can see it popped up here. What's the application deadline for the January 2026 intake, and how early should students apply to secure their place? Well, the simple answer here, as early as possible, because we want to make sure that you've provided all the required documents, that they meet the criteria, you've passed in uni AI consultation to make sure that you're prepared for the actual university interview, that you received your unconditional offer letter as well. And once those stages have been completed, that you obviously arrange the payment, and it obviously takes time to get that payment cleared and allocated. So we want to make sure that you've done it in plenty of time. So do submit your applications at the soonest if you haven't done so, or apply for deferral in case if you initially applied for September but haven't actually requested deferral yet. We're yet to announce deadlines, but for our partners' knowledge, just keep in mind that International Foundation application deadline would be earlier, so around of mid of November, and then for the rest of the programs would be towards end of November. But again, we do not encourage leaving your students' applications till the last minute, because as you can imagine, it does get busy towards the deadlines, and then the university will be closed during Christmas break. So we want to make sure that all courses are issued well before that period, because the UKVI, the Home Office, is also closed, meaning that you need to apply for your visa again well before Christmas to secure your visa and to arrive in the UK and enroll at CCCU on time. Okay, let's see what other questions we have here. How does CCCU? Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, Digina, to interrupt you. I was just going to say, I saw in the Q&A someone's written about the cathedral as being the most exciting thing that they wanted to see. So yeah, that was a very nice answer. Obviously, in Digina's background is the cathedral, and as Digina mentioned, you will graduate from, wow, you know, from Canterbury Cathedral. What a memorable day that will be.
Absolutely. I think it must be very special feeling graduating in a cathedral like Canterbury Cathedral, one of the oldest cathedrals in the UK. There's so much history in Canterbury city itself. And it's a very touristic place too. So there's so much to explore, isn't it? Is there anything, speaking of touristy stuff, you know, I love being a tourist everywhere I go. I like taking lots of pictures. Are there any other places you would highlight, Richard, for students to visit in Canterbury, perhaps?
Well, I can see Stephen's come on camera. Stephen, would you like to comment on Canterbury?
Honestly, I didn't even know I'd caught my camera button. Apologies. Canterbury's amazing. I moved here to be a student myself in the last century. Let's just go with that. And I've lived here ever since. I will never leave. But I think Canterbury as a destination for social and extracurricular activities is phenomenal. We've got Boom Battle Bar, on which I'm going to on Saturday, which is a social venue that celebrates. It's not just about alcohol. There's whole activities there with mini golf and axe throwing and digital darts and all sorts of things. We've got multiple sports clubs and societies. The university has a very strong relationship with Kent County Cricket Club, which is 2 minutes from our campus. We're the sponsor of the ladies team. So we have people like Tammy Beaumont coming across campus quite often. She's one of our Academic Scholar Academy graduates. There's football teams locally. We have a thriving high street, which is completely pedestrianised, so you can't get run over by looking the wrong way. We've got an amazing restaurant scene. The cathedral's lovely, but once you've seen it once, it's just a cathedral until graduation day, when it is an absolute venue to celebrate your success, where your family can watch, and it'll be live streamed across the world. So just because your mum and dad can't possibly come and visit doesn't mean they can't see you cross, then shake the VC's hand and walk away with your certificate. We are a student city. There are 50,000 students in Canterbury Christ Church, and the beautiful thing about it being a student city is that the shops are made for the students, the restaurants are made for the students, for every budget. The accommodation is made for the students for every budget, and the part-time work is there as well, as long as you're within the terms of your UKVI. It is such a welcoming city, and we've been in the top 5 safest student cities in the UK for over 30 years. So it's just a welcoming, lovely environment. Then you add, we've got the parks, we've got the beach 15 minutes away in 3 directions. We've got London under an hour in a train. You can't really be anywhere better. Why would you want to live anywhere else?
Very true.
Fantastic.
I was born in Canterbury, so like Stephen, lived in Canterbury many years, and yeah, Stephen's spot on. I mean, there's so many benefits to living in Canterbury. There really are.
That's great. Thank you so much, Stephen and Richard. Really, really helpful. I can actually see somebody type here. Exciting thing for me would be the beaches around Canterbury and the cafes as well. And like you mentioned, Stephen, it's so easy to get to and from London. When we traveled in September with our partners, it took us literally an hour from London to Canterbury. Very, very easy by coach, but actually you can take a train as well and reach Canterbury within 55 minutes. So in case if you have relatives or friends and would like to stay in London, perhaps share accommodation, you can commute. Just keep in mind, obviously trains might be a little bit costly, but then if you decide to live in Canterbury itself, accommodation is much more affordable in Canterbury city as opposed to London city. And like Stephen mentioned, it's safer. It's one of the safest cities in the UK, which is great. Perfect. All right, let's move on to the next question we have here. I can see the audience is really engaging, so thank you so much. And I hope you stay with us till the end of the webinar, because I can see lots of exciting questions coming up, which is great. How does CCCU help its graduates connect with employers and global opportunities after completing these degrees? I guess for parents, well, and for students both, it's really important that they have their return on investment. How easy is it to secure jobs post-graduation, but I guess also during studies, it's really important to engage with potential employers, right? It's important to promote yourself from day one. So what sort of support that CCCU provides in that regard, Richard?
Yeah, very important question. So as I mentioned, I think at the top of the webinar, we were #1 in the UK for graduates in employment for our strong employability skills in 2023, and we remain in the top 10 in the UK. Our careers and enterprise team are instrumental in offering support not only to our students, but also to our alumni as well. So after you graduate, doesn't mean that we say goodbye to you. We still help you and support you. The team offers help with so many practical things like how to write your CV, interview prep, helping with your job search. We organise career fairs on campus, employer networking events as well. We have an alumni hub as well to connect graduates with ongoing job opportunities. Yeah, so again, like the student support that I spoke about, there's both online help and opportunities, but also face-to-face help and opportunities as well. Booking appointments with, one-to-one with an advisor, or attending a little workshop to discuss your business ideas. So much help, Dagina, so much support. And again, that's reflected in our, to be #1 is pretty incredible, right? So that is reflected in our number one, and we're still remain in the top 10 as well in the United Kingdom for that.
Fantastic, thank you. And for those who would like to learn a little bit more about employability and the career support that CCCU provides, I strongly recommend to watch back a webinar recording that we did perhaps a few months ago now, right, Richard? With the director of the career services at CCCU, who explained it in detail on all the support available to CCCU students. Perfect. All right. So if you could summarize for students exploring multiple UK options, because let's face it, students do their research and consider various universities. What are the 3 things that make CCCU the smart choice?
Okay, 3 things. Well, we've already spoken about location. So great location, number 1. Number 2, personalized support, as we've already talked about, both in terms of well-being, academic, employability, and I think career-focused teaching as well. You know, teaching with practical experience and teaching the skills that employers really do value.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Richard. Okay, one of the questions on everybody's mind, what are the scholarships and discounts perhaps available for January 2026 international students?
Digina, I think because Stephen's put his camera back on, I think he wanted to answer that last one as well. Stephen, please come in and give your input on the 3. It was like 3 things that make us the smart choice, right?
Yeah, but I'm going to take liberties and say to Digina that we're going to give 4 because Canterbury always goes the extra mile.
Amazing.
My thing about why you should choose Canterbury Christ Church is because we're a community. We are a family here at Canterbury Christ Church. You're not going to come and be a student and one of 30,000 international students. That's just a number that I heard mentioned earlier. At Canterbury Christ Church University, whilst we are the largest undergraduate university in the UK with over 30,000 undergraduate students, we are a family institution. You are with us for life. You're not just with us for a year or 3 years or whatever your course may be. You'll be part of our alumni. You'll be part of our community. You'll be part of Canterbury Christ Church worldwide. Our international students make up about 2,000 of our community in Canterbury. And I just love walking across campus every day, seeing smiling faces, saying hello to people. Everybody that knows me will know that I'm awful with names, but I always remember a face. So when I get the pleasure of doing all the welcome speeches to our students in September and January and June, I always remember the people I see there, but I'm terrible with names. So please be one of those faces that I get to smile and say hello to and be part of our family for the next few years.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Stephen. Richard, do you want to go back to the scholarships question?
Yeah, sure. So the question was, what scholarships are available, right, for our January 2026
That's right.
Yeah. So we offer an international student scholarship, Digina, of £1,500. So that reduces the tuition fee to £14,000. And yeah, on top of that, I think we mentioned our early bird discounts, but if students pay upfront in full, we'll give them another £1,000 discount. So that again reduces tuition to £13,000, which, if you consider as well, as we've talked about, the affordability of Canterbury as a study location, both to live and to work in, great value for money.
Fabulous. That's really good news. So thank you so much. So we strongly recommend you to consider the early bird discount advantage, like Richard mentioned. If you do pay in full, then you can save an additional 1,000. So you will be paying £13,000 for January intake, and that's across all programs. For foundation, we do require students to pay in full regardless. So you will still benefit from this discount. For postgraduate, you can start with £5,000 deposit for to secure your place and to apply for your CAS letter, but you will still need to show outstanding fees on your bank account. However, if you pay all upfront before CAS letter, Stephen, correct me if I'm wrong, then obviously that reduces the amount you will need to show on your bank account, meaning you will only need to show your living cost, because your full tuition fee will be covered. Correct. Ultimately.
Yeah, correct. So the early bird discount's got a couple of elements. Those that pay £10,000 before CAS letter will receive a £500 discount. That's topped up to £1,000 if they pay in full before the enrolment deadline. For the January, it's a little bit trickier than September because of the short turnaround for students. So my advice and guidance to all applicants is, if you've got the money in your account, you're confident you've made the right choice, and if you're coming to Canterbury Christ Church, I assure you, you have. The easiest thing is just at deposit stage, use Convera, pay in full, make sure you engage with the my deposit tile in my record. Then any refund that is required, should you not be successful at pre-CAS interview or not receive your visa, etc., is easy to process and come back very quickly from the university. And it just makes everything simpler. You don't have to worry about comms, about I've added more money, can I have my discount? That's done. You don't have to worry about your CAS having the incorrect amount stated. That's done. And you don't have to worry about demonstrating your fees availability for financial checks. That's done. Bearing in mind the whole recruitment cycle is probably 6-7 weeks. It's just much cleaner and much simpler. Knock it out in one hit. Obviously, I appreciate that can't be done for everybody. So we do run the deadlines as long as possible to ensure that students have access to the early bird discounts. And if you're really struggling and can't meet those deadlines, then we can look at ways of supporting you when you're here to get you extra part-time work, etc., and contribute to your financial health. We also, just on the finance side, before I log off, and I apologise, Richard, I said I wasn't going to speak, sorry. We have an amazing team in student health and wellbeing as part of student support and guidance who are here to help you support with budgeting and understanding UK money and finances when you arrive. It can be a very daunting and troubling environment when you first land and you've got lots of money in your account and all these new possibilities. So we do have whole sections of the university that are there to support you and make sure you're budgeting correctly. You know when you've got to pay your bills, when you've got to pay your food bills and things like that. So we're here to support you and kind of wrap you in a blanket from day one.
That's really, really good to know. Thank you so much, Stephen. And I'm really glad you joined us for this webinar. Thank you. You should join us more often. Thank you. But like Stephen mentioned, it's a really great saving, not only on your tuition fees, but also to demonstrate the funds on your bank account. You will only need to show your living costs for 28 days, which is fantastic. So please make sure that you take advantage of that early bird discount in addition to international scholarship. Excellent. All right. Richard, can you tell us a bit about accommodation options available for students joining in January? Is it easy to find housing for January intake? Are there the same options available as for September, or are they a bit more limited?
Yeah, so the accommodation options are the same as September. We've got a wide range of on-campus accommodation, and also importantly in terms of price, very, very affordable. So our student accommodation ranges from £118 up to £200 per week. So very, very affordable if you compare it with other cities in the United Kingdom, compare it to London, it's extremely affordable. Also, we offer more incentives. So if students pay up front for their accommodation, we give them £250 to spend on campus on food and on drink. We give them free gym membership as well. We've got a brand new gym located in our sports centre, so you get free gym membership as well. And remembering that, you know, Canterbury is a city, but everything is walkable. So all of our student accommodation is a short walk from either our library or our main campus. So you don't have to spend money on buses or trains or taxis. You can walk everywhere, which is lovely.
Yeah, I really enjoy walking around Canterbury, and it's just so easy to walk from campus to campus and also from accommodation to campus. So you save a lot of time and money as well, which is great. How diverse is CCCU international students community? I know you guys already answered questions around support provided in various clubs and societies, but what about the diversity?
Yeah, so we're an extremely diverse community, over 100 different countries represented within our student community. We support all of our students, both local students and international students in the same way. And, we haven't touched upon clubs and societies yet, but we've got many societies to embrace all of our different cultures and faiths and interests and languages. So there are so many different societies as well that our students can join to meet with like-minded friends and create that amazing community that we have. My personal favorite is the International Student Society, which, if you imagine, has literally students from all over the world, and they organize events like a cooking event where the students bring a traditional dish from their own country that they've cooked, and they all share their food. That is a very, very special event. Stephen, I see you've put your camera on again. Please, please tell us a bit more as well.
I think I've got a problem with my camera because I'm not actually touching it. I've got a new laptop. It keeps turning on and off. I'm really sorry. My favorite is I'm a cricketer. My favorite is our cricket club. Sure. We've got 8 cricket teams, both men's and women's. They play 12 months a year. Outdoor cricket. We have a varsity competition against the University of Kent at Kent County Cricket Club. So people get to play on the county pitch. We have an indoor season that, funnily enough, starts today's Thursday. Starts on Saturday, where the university teams play indoors as well. So that's just like 12 overs, and you play for an hour and a half. That's all league cricket. Then we play local cricket in local leagues and national cricket against other universities as well. But I'm a cricket mad nut, so if you love cricket, Kent's your destination. We've got a Premiership team and everything. So
here we've got two. Yeah, thank you, Stephen. Here are the two main, I guess, points to remember. If you like cricket and if you love food, then definitely come to CCCU. And speaking of food,
you've described my life, Dagina, cricket and food.
Amazing. And speaking of food, actually, one of the best things I love about CCCU, you will never, ever get hungry. So there are food everywhere, any food you like, halal or any other options. It's all available there within walking distance, because there are cafes everywhere. There are coffee shops everywhere. So if you love coffee as well, you can find it anywhere in CCCU. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Okay, that's one of the questions that often comes up. Can students apply for on-campus jobs or student ambassador roles while studying? And how many hours can students actually work in the UK, Richard?
Yeah, that's a really important question. So, topping up your finances is very, very important for many, many students. So students can work 20 hours per week, unless I think on the International Foundation year, I think it's 10 hours.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but that's the only program. Yeah, if students opt for integrated foundation plus bachelor's degree, which is available in September normally, they can also work 20 hours per week. But yes, for January intake, International Foundation would be 10 hours per week, and then postgraduate programs would allow you to work 20 hours per week during studies, but full-time during holidays.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we've already talked about the beauty of Canterbury. There are so many part-time jobs within Canterbury. So Canterbury is a tourist hub. So we get many, many tourists from all over the world. So there's lots of jobs in local cafes, restaurants, hotels, bars. And also, I think, as we've spoken about, working for the university as well as a student ambassador. So helping on open days, giving campus tours, giving city tours, so many opportunities as well for students to work within the university and top up their finances. And we have an in-house recruitment agency as well, Degina, called Unitemps. They have an office in our library building, and they also support with students getting part-time jobs as well. So there's always that face-to-face contact as well that students can have to go and talk to someone, tell them what they want to do, and they will get the support to achieve it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Richard. Really, really helpful. And we actually met some student ambassadors whilst visiting CCCU in September, who took us around, provided the campus tour, but also Canterbury city tour. So I guess it's a great experience for international students to be students ambassador and to welcome students just like you, perhaps, or other visitors, or our partners visit CCCU from time to time as well. So it's great to hear the success stories as well.
It's also a great way, sorry to interrupt, to make British friends as well, because many of our ambassadors are local students. So yeah, it's also a great way for international students to make friends with UK local students. And they also start to get involved in other areas of the university as well. So within the marketing side, making content for our social media, these are also really interesting aspects that student ambassadors can get into, become content creators for the university. There are so many opportunities for our students to work with us.
Absolutely. And that's a very, very good point. Thank you for highlighting, Richard. I think for international students to actually immerse themselves into a British culture, British life, to learn a little bit more about it, but also to improve their communication skills as well. It's important to make local friends. And the beauty of studying at CCCU, you actually have loads of local British students. Yes, we're still growing international students population, but still there are many, many, many students who are from within the UK. So it's a good way for international students to actually integrate and to make some friends from the UK.
Absolutely.
Just good. Excellent. Thank you. Okay, so for international students who may not yet meet the direct entry requirements for undergraduate degrees, how does the International Foundation Year help them to prepare for success in their chosen degree?
Yeah, so the International Foundation Year will basically, I believe, mold a student into the perfect international university student. So, for students whose English isn't quite there for starting their degree, join the International Foundation Year. You'll study with obviously other international students. You will study academic English, which, I mean, let's face it, academic English is a foreign language for everyone, not just for international students, but for UK local students as well. So the International Foundation Year will really focus on academic English, academic skills, and then in the second semester, students start to experience a specific academic subject, their intended subject, the subject they want to transition into. They'll access learning from different parts of the university, and we'll give them the experience of coping with a subject specific program. So it's going to be so beneficial. And because we run it in-house within the university, students meet so many different people along the way, both academics, professional services staff. It's a really, really fantastic course. It really is.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. So in case if you miss September intake for undergraduate degree or even foundation, maybe your visa was slightly delayed, you can consider deferring to January intake. We still accept applications for international foundation program. Okay, I can see quite a few questions are coming through for MBA International, MSc International Business. I will try to summarize it in one because I know we are soon reaching the end of the webinar. So if you could perhaps summarize for us what makes CCCU business and management programs stand out compared to similar programs at other UK universities, and how do these programs prepare students for global leadership roles?
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, we've talked about the careers and enterprise team, you know, and employability being threaded through all of our curricula, all of our courses. So, I mean, you've two fantastic courses on offer there. The MSc is kind of a little bit more academic. You know, you've got a dissertation at the end of the course. The MBA, a bit more practical. You've got a business plan at the end of the course. But both courses, they really do focus on strategy, so global strategy, on leadership, and on cross-cultural management as well. And one more thing to add that I think is interesting, they use a flipped classroom approach often. So a flipped classroom approach means they'll provide students with the learning materials before the lecture for the students to study and to familiarize themselves with. And then they'll cover the content and they'll discuss the key issues within the lecture or within the seminar that they hold. And that's a good point as well, actually. So maybe from people watching, maybe from your home country, you imagine university being a big lecture with like loads and loads of students in a lecture theatre. So yes, we do have these kinds of lessons at Canterbury Christ Church, but we also have smaller seminar type lessons as well, where you'll be discussing ideas with 3, 4, 5 other students maximum. So it's a great way to be communicative, to share your ideas and really work on, if you're doing the MBA, for example, really work on your business plan. So yeah, I really, really do love that flipped classroom approach to Gina.
Brilliant. Thank you, Richard. And do students require to have previous work experience to apply for MSc International Business or MBA International?
It's not always required, Degina. No, it's not always required. I would encourage, if they're passionate about business, and you know, I would just encourage them to apply. Yeah, that prior work experience within that area isn't always required. No, obviously yeah. Experience can strengthen an application, but it's not always essential.
Excellent. Thank you, Richard. So yes, so just to highlight here, CCCU does accept applications from fresh graduates, but also from applicants with an experience. So if you are a more mature applicant, please just ensure you justify any study gap within your CV and also personal statement. CCCU analyzes every application individually. So we do consider students with a study gap as well. And it's a great experience, I guess, for students as well, where you learn from those who might have had longer work experience, but also those with work experience can learn from fresh graduates as well. So we definitely encourage, like Richard mentioned, for you to apply, whether you had work experience or you haven't, and we will consider your application individually. Excellent. Thank you.
Gina, could we also quickly highlight 2 other courses that I'm really, really passionate
about?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
So the MA Education and MSc Global Public Health. So also 2 courses we're offering for January, which they open such a wide range of career opportunities. So MA Education, you know, our students have gone on to careers within educational management, health, social care, criminal justice, working within businesses that provide specialist educational services, and our global public health, MSc Global Public Health. This is a really, really incredible course that will allow you, I think, to return to your home country, say, and work for an NGO or a government health department, and also many, many other avenues and routes as well that you can go down and find work in. So yeah, MSc Global Public Health and MA Education, two more really, really fascinating courses on offer.
Absolutely agreed. And they're actually quite popular amongst our applicants as well, which is great to see. Oh, I love this question. How is CCCU responding to the growing demand for data-driven and tech-focused careers, particularly through the new and evolving MSc programs?
Yeah, wow, that is a great question, a very current and relevant question right at the moment. So yeah, I mean, to say our cybersecurity technology course is accredited by the National Cybersecurity Centre, which is quite an accolade. There's a huge skills gap in the UK in terms of basic cyber skills, and businesses are looking for these experts, and businesses are willing to pay premiums as well for these experts. So I think both of our January courses, the cybersecurity technology and the data intelligence, are really, really important courses. And not only that, giving the placement option as well, as I touched upon, I think earlier, having that 12-week placement at the end of the course would further forge networks and job opportunities within UK industries. So that, yeah, they're two very, very relevant, very, very current courses, written and informed by industry as well, so that they're so current.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Richard. So CCCU really has a great portfolio of programs for the upcoming January 2026 intake, and great time management. It's 12 already. So I'll just answer a question here that just popped up now. When will the university start conducting precast interviews for January 2026? Very good question. The university is currently in the process of closing September intake. We still have some later arrivals. So if you have or if your students have received visas, we strongly encourage them to fly into the UK as soon as possible, if not done so yet, and prior to the latest enrollment date. For the January 2026 intake, the university will start conducting precast interviews from the mid October, I would say, Stephen, right? So post second week of October, I would imagine.
Yeah, so our specialists in admissions are also our specialists in registration. So all of the people that normally conduct the pre-CAS interviews are currently doing all the registration of new students for the September-October intake. I think we've got about a week and a half left, and then it'll be full steam ahead January interviews. It's a little less urgent for immediate interviews for the January intake because of the smaller numbers. So we have a higher capacity. That's not to downplay the importance of the interview, but what I would say to all students and applicants that are coming through is we will be in contact with you. We will give you the slots as quickly as humanly possible. Please don't panic. We will get to everyone. We are as keen as you are for you to be with us here in January, and the team will be on it as soon as they finish getting all the current students into classrooms as we currently stand.
Fantastic. Thank you, Stephen. But having said that, the university is already issuing unconditional offer letters. So please ensure you've submitted all your pending documents. You've also passed your in-uni consultation session to ensure you are prepared for the precast interview with the university. Also, the priority for precast interviews is normally given to those who have arranged their tuition fees deposit. So once you've received your unconditional offer letter, we strongly encourage you to start making arrangements for your deposit payment, and then the university will start conducting precast interviews soon, as mentioned. And if you haven't submitted your students' applications, please do so as soon as possible. As I mentioned, GAS Gateway portal is open. Also, stay tuned for more webinars to come. Sorry if we didn't answer your question. I can see there were loads and loads of questions coming through, but if they are specific to countries' entry requirements, please reach out to in-uni team on the ground. They would be happy to assist, or for any individual cases also. We will keep you posted on the next webinars to come, and I really hope Stephen and Richard both can join us for the next webinars. And thank you to everyone for a fantastic session. Thank you to the marketing team also. We will be sharing recording with you later on. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.